Stu Cowan and Pat Hickey here at the Bell Center, where the Canadiens were shut out 3-0 by the Los Angeles Kings on Thursday night. Pat, it's becoming a familiar story here, where the Canadiens outshoot a team 45-20 tonight and can't put the puck in the net.
Yeah, Jonathan Quick, I thought, was outstanding tonight. Made a lot of big saves. It might have been a little different. Lars Eller hit a post on a shorthanded breakaway in the first period. If that goes in, maybe it's a little different, but I don't think so, because the Canadiens, they couldn't have pushed any harder than they did. Mm-hmm. They got lots of shots. What they didn't get, they didn't get enough breakaways. Odd man rushes. The thing, they didn't seem to be using their speed that much, but they seemed to have a little more net presence, a little bit more action down low, which was good. But Quick just stopped everything that was down there.
Michel Therrien and Max Pacioretty both said they were happy with the net presence. Pacioretty saying he had to brush snow off his pants about a dozen times, but they're still missing Gallagher. There's none of those scrums in front that he used to start.
Yeah, there's no, there's really no pushback. There's nobody gets in anybody's eyes, down there. Mm-hmm. It gets in the goaltender's eyes. That's one of the things Pacioretty said they have to start doing. They've got a tough stretch coming up. I know what Michel Therrien was saying when he's talking about the adversity will make this team stronger, but at the same time, at some point, they have to start winning some games. Mm-hmm. Because they're in a situation right now, they've got a 5-point edge on Detroit and Boston, but Boston's got 3 games in hand now. Detroit has 2 games in hand. That Winter Classic game could be a battle for first place.
And they're 1-6 in their last 7 games. They only scored 11 goals during that span. They've scored 3 goals once, and of course that's the game that they won. So it doesn't really matter how many shots you're getting if you're not finishing. Max Pacioretty was saying it's a case maybe just giving that 1% more, but is that going to be enough?
I don't know. I mean, they came into the game, they were 3rd in the league in goals per game. 3.13 goals per game. That'll go down, obviously, after tonight. But in the last 9 games, they're averaging 1.66, almost half of what they averaged for the season. And so obviously there's something missing on the offense.
I think it's Brendan Gallagher. The other thing is, the Canadiens outshot the Kings 45-20, but they were out hit 45-29, playing against a bigger team. And the guy who led the Canadiens in hits was the smallest guy on the team. Paul Byron was 7, and that seems to be the case many games, where he's the guy with limited ice time, small guy leading the team in hits.
Yeah, they were out hit by a similar margin the other night. That's one of the things. Again, this team, it's bigger than it has been, but they still don't play big.
The little guys play big.
Yeah, the unfortunate thing, Gallagher, when he's in there, plays big and things like that. But Byron, 158 pounds, and it's amazing. He doesn't back down from anybody.
And he doesn't. And he took a few chops in front of the nets. He doesn't back down from anybody.
No.
You're talking about big guys, not necessarily that big, but a big player is Drew Doughty.
Yeah.
A goal and assist tonight, 25 minutes and 6 seconds of ice time. He's a dominating figure out there.
Drew Doughty took over that game for about a 3-minute stretch there. He had the shot, his first goal, a slap shot from the point. I mean, nobody could have stopped that. I mean, he almost took Condon's head off. Yeah. It was a high shot, just under the bar, perfect shot. That's one of the things you're not gonna stop. And then he just made a great pass on a backdoor play to Kopitar. Kopitar has, people have asking what's happening when he's getting a little old, but he's got points in 4 consecutive games now, and he's starting to come around. Los Angeles is going to be a tough team.
Yeah, and you can't blame Michael Condon for this. He let in 2 goals. No. As you said, nobody's going to stop that Drew Doughty shot. As you said, Michel Therrien says this is going to make the team better going forward. Now they play the next 8 games on the road, so it's not going to get any easier for this team.
It's going to be tough, and most of those games they're playing are against teams that are in the playoffs. The first break they get, and it's not really a break because they have to go to Tampa Bay and Florida back-to-back. Those are 2 teams that usually give them trouble in Florida when they're on the road, and they're both 2 teams that are starting to pick it up a little bit. So it's going to be a difficult trip. And then, of course, they have the Winter Classic. That's, despite what they say, that's got to be a bit of a distraction.
Yeah, I think so. Just the camera crews around. There's so many camera crews around. I mean, it's always a lot, but there's even more so now with these guys. So Canadiens are back in action Saturday night in Dallas against the Stars. As we said earlier, the next 8 games on the road. They're not back here at the Bell Center again until January 6th, so it'll be interesting to see where they are in the standings by that point.